everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Debby Campbell Goodtime Show. Our next guests, they were born in Florida, and their first big breakout song was Let Your Love Flow. But that's just one of many of the string of hits that these boys have had. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Howard and David Bellamy, known as the Bellamy Brothers. Hi, Howard and David. Thanks for coming on the show today.
Oh, how you doing, Debbie? How are you doing?
Good. You guys in Florida?
We are.
Pretty humid?
Oh, it's
No, what do you mean humid? It's like desert here.
4th of July in Florida. Yeah, you know it's pretty.
Yeah. No, I'm in the desert, Howard. In Phoenix. Yeah, it's pretty hot, but it's dry, not wet like there it is in Florida.
Yes, it's a dry heat like an oven, right?
Right, exactly. But I haven't been going out, so that's all right. So you guys, your dad played in a band, I guess.
Yes,
He did. He
Now,
did.
Did he have hits, or did he just played in a band and?
No, they were. They preceded hits. I think that this is a long. He played in a band called the Brothers-Debby Brothers. They were a Czechoslovakian Western swing band.
Oh, okay. Wow.
You know, with fiddle and dobro
And accordion.
They played polkas and they played Western swing, and they played quite interesting stuff.
Are you Czechoslovakian?
No.
No, your dad just played in one.
Well, we live near a little Czechoslovakian settlement here near our ranch, and
Really?
yeah, it's very close, and it's all Czech, and so we knew a lot of people.
Yeah, and he grew up playing with brothers actually from that town, and so he played. They used to play. He used to call them frolics. They used to play frolics.
Now you guys play a lot of instruments. Now, Howard, you play the guitar, mandolin, and banjo.
Yeah.
And David, you do too, right?
I don't play as good as your dad did, but I
Oh.
mess around. Yeah.
We played a little bit of everything. You know, I actually started out playing the accordion, and most of the family got sick of that.
I was so glad when he let the accordion go.
But it taught me, a lot. It taught me to read music, and it was a good practical instrument, even though nobody liked the sound of it. But
I loved it when it was properly played. I loved it.
Right, exactly.
Listen.
Also, you play what? The fiddle, David, and what, piano too?
Yeah, I play some piano, a little bit of fiddle, but I wouldn't call myself a fiddle player.
Fiddler.
But we've always been drawn to music. Our dad used to have some of those frolics they used to have in our living room, and our mom trying to throw them out for drinking moonshine
On Saturday night and go to church on Sunday.
Yeah,
Exactly. Absolutely.
so we learned probably more from his group of musician friends when we were kids than we did in school.
Right. Now, was your mom a homemaker?
She was a little bit of everything.
You
She
name
was
it,
a
she-
homemaker and a rancher and
Provider,
Pretty-
everything.
pretty much everything. She drove a school bus for 24 years.
Oh my gosh, so did I. I drove a school bus for 7.
No
Wow.
kidding.
Yeah, our mom.
I knew I liked you.
It's a great job, when you're raising kids, because you have time off,
Right. And so she used to drive the bus, and she worked at actually the lunchroom, the cafeteria too, at school. And then after we had hits, she'd drive the bus in the morning, come home and work in the office with us all, for our travels and stuff.
Right.
And we'd go drive in the afternoon, and
Wow.
so our mom did a lot of things.
Now, your mom's she's still there. She's still alive, right?
No, she passed away.
Oh, she has? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, wow. When did she pass away?
Oh, it's been a while.
2009.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Been
Around
gone.
Christmas 2009. Yep.
Right. So, your first gig, not your big gig, but you played, was it with your dad in 1968? The Rattlesnake Roundup?
Yeah.
Yes, just down the road a piece here. It's we used to have a rattlesnake festival. They still have it. That people gathered rattlesnakes and would you get them for milking, so that you make the anti-venom from them.
Right.
Texas has a lot of them. All over
Well, I would think you'd be like called maybe the alligator roundup or crocodile roundup, living there in Florida.
We have those too, but somehow the rattlesnake roundup just got had a better publicist, I think.
So
Arizona's got plenty of rattlesnakes, don't they?
yeah, they do, and I better never see one in my backyard, or I'm hightailing it out of here because I do not like snakes and spiders either. So you guys, you started a band, right? I mean, after that, you guys started your own, playing for a lot of different clubs down south.
Yeah, we started, like you said, playing with our dad. Just family reunions,
Singing in church,
and
Right.
anything that came up. And then we sort of branched out into starting bands once we were in school, and we had pretty eclectic bands that they played a lot of different kind of music because we were exposed to a lot of music here in Florida.
Right. Well, I guess so, because you like backed up artists like Percy Sledge,
Yeah.
Little Anthony and the Imperials. I mean, that's definitely.
Musicians used to do pickup bands. Chuck Berry, I guess, was the most famous for that. He didn't tour the band. He'd have a band ready for him when he got to the gig.
Right. There's a lot of people that do that even today, don't they?
Yeah, there's still people that do that. Yeah, and we were, our band back then in high school, we were picked up quite a few times by acts that come through, and Eddie Floyd that did the original version of Knock on Wood.
Oh wow! And you were in high school still at all that
Yeah.
time? Wow!
Yeah.
Oh wow! You guys were youngsters. Holy moly! So after doing that for a while, then you guys moved to Atlanta?
We did. We moved to Atlanta mainly because of a booking agent that did mainly, clubs all around the South. And we, one thing we used to do a lot of top 40 hits, country and rock and whatever it was. And so we could get quite a bit of work because, we could play all the songs of the day. So
right.
And it was kind of a hot spot then too. Kenny Rogers' first edition was there in that period, that time period. Joe South,
yeah.
Okay.
There. It was a nice little music scene going on there. And
so how long did you stay there?
Well, they ran us out.
Yeah. We were there almost 2 years, I guess.
Yeah, we were there.
But we didn't stay in Atlanta a lot because we'd go out to Savannah, play a 2-week gig at a club, and then we'd go to Charleston, and then we were all over the South playing gigs, honky tonks and gigs, and
right. So then after a while, you went back to Florida.
Yeah, we kind of were our own worst enemy at that point in time. And we, even though we were actually making a little bit of money, playing these places, we spent most of it. So
right.
we ended up back at the ranch like we usually did. And so, and then started trying to put some things together here as well.
Right.
It was slow, but we were able to do it eventually.
Now, was it in Florida that somebody, was it Jim Stafford that found you, or a friend of Jim's?
Jim had
in Florida?
Yeah, we were here. Jim had his producer was living over in St. Petersburg.
Okay.
He was actually the only person connected to the record business that we'd ever heard of in this area.
Right.
We knew anything about. At Nashville at that time was a million miles away from us because we knew no one.
Right.
But Phil Gernhardt had an office over in St. Pete, and he had produced Lobo, the hits of Lobo.
Right.
I'd Love You to Want Me and stuff like that.
Dion
and a few things. So we started taking stuff to him, and he had pretty much rejected Spiders and Snakes. But Jim came.
I didn't realize you wrote that, David. You co-wrote that.
Yeah,
Did you write it by yourself, or did you and Jim write it?
Both, actually. I wrote it by myself, and then when Jim found it, he called me or called Gernhardt to ask if I would mind him rewriting it. Mm-hmm. And so he called me on the phone, and then because Jim had a storytelling you know, kind of vocal he did on things, you know.
Right.
So he called me and we sort of rewrote it on the telephone
Oh, neat.
for his style. Before I'd even met Jim.
Right.
And so that's kind of how that, you know, the evolution of that song, at least.
Was your version more country or?
Yeah, it
Okay.
was more country with steel guitar and, you know, a little more up tempo. They made it swampier.
Right.
It's on one of our
Yeah,
albums.
it's on a couple of things we've done. The original.
In your version? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll have to find that. Yeah. So that was a hit for Jim.
Really big hit. Yeah.
Made some money off that.
Yeah.
So then
Yeah,
where'd you go? You went.
Back when you could actually make money writing songs.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask you, you know, because you wrote it. Then I thought, well, back then the artist usually who sings it gets their little name on the song, even though they didn't have anything to do with it. But Jim actually rewrote it with you.
Yeah. Jim and I rewrote that, and and we both, you know, at that time it was the biggest thing that I'd ever seen because I didn't actually know you could make any money writing songs.
Right.
It was a big deal at that point.
So then you guys moved to LA.
Yes.
Now, Howard, I read that you became Jim's road manager. Is that true?
Oh, yes, it's very
Wow,
true.
I never knew that. Oh my gosh, because him and Dad were such great friends. I mean, I've learned so much from, you know.
We worked with your dad a lot. We was around him a lot. You know,
Yeah.
And plus, you know, we did some shows as well with them.
Right.
But yeah, we were around him, you know, quite a bit.
Yeah, so I was kind of shocked when I read. I said that can't be right. Howard was never Jim's road manager, but
Well,
y'all moved to LA, and that's.
Well,
Yeah.
what happened is that they were starting a summer replacement show for the Smothers Brothers, and Jim's the one what was Jim's show called?
I forget.
I can't remember what it's called.
Only been 50 years.
It was you know they were the Smothers Brothers and your dad's show and all those they were kind of patterned alike, you know, the way the formats were. But Jim had a summer replacement show, and Gallagher, who was Jim's road manager,
Previous road manager.
was actually leaving to write comedy for the show because I was writing music for the show.
Right.
And Howard went on the road with Jim to take Gallagher's place.
Okay.
And we moved into the basement with Gallagher when he was inventing the Sledge-O-Matic.
Wow.
So it was a crazy bunch
What
of
is
people.
the Sledge-O-Matic?
Oh, Gallagher, the comedian.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, he invented.
I mean, I've heard of him, but I really, you know, I don't know if I've really.
Well, if it was for the Sledge-O-Matic, there would be no Gallagher.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm learning a lot of stuff here.
It's an enormous block of wood with a stick in it that he smashed fruit with at his shows.
Yeah.
And it splattered. That's why everybody wore Genius, right?
He would make the audience wear raincoats because he would smash watermelons.
Right. So was he the creator of the sledgehammer?
I think the Sledgehammer came first, but the Sledge-O-Matic kind of like that.
Oh, wow. So now, David, did you sign with Curb Records, or both of you were signed with Curb Records?
We were both signed with Curb Records. I probably signed a little earlier than Howard did.
Okay.
But not much. It was pretty much close to being simultaneous.
Right. And then what was Nothing Heavy? Was that just you, David?
Yes, that was me. The Gernhardt and the Scotty brothers had a deal going on with Mike Curb, and so Gernhardt cut that record, and then Tony Scotti came along and heard Howard singing one of my songs at a show of Jim's, and he said, "Hey, you know, they should be like singing together."
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they called me and said, "Well, what about?" I said, "Well, we always sang together." I said, "You know." So that's sort of, you know, how that sort of, you know, came together, like just prior to cutting Let Your Love Flow.
Right. Well, that had always been your, that was always going to be your goal anyway. You guys were going to be singing together, but right now you're just trying to make money to stay afloat. So probably you're doing different.
We actually had been, you know, we'd had all these bands we were in together.
Right.
We just never called ourselves the Bellamy Brothers yet.
Right.
But that's when the name came about.
Yeah.
When they,
At that point, we said, "Hey, we might as well call ourselves Bellamy Brothers."
Right.
Just do it that way. Yeah.
Yeah. So now, how did Let Your Love Flow come about?
It was Neil Diamond's drummer, Dennis St. John. He came to us in the studio while we were cutting some demos on some of our songs.
Mm-hmm.
And he wrote this song that's really great and sounds like something you guys would do. So we said, well, great, let's hear it. So he had it over at Gernhardt's office. So we went over there and dug it out of the stacks of reel-to-reel tapes. And everybody loved it. We loved it. Actually, everybody except the producer loved it.
Oh my gosh. Who was the producer?
Phil Gernhardt.
Okay.
Same guy that produced Stafford.
Same guy, right?
So we had to talk him into kind of doing it because we were already cutting some other stuff. But once it was cut, once we were, because Neil's band had played pretty much on the demos, so there wasn't a lot of a lot of questions as to what to do because they already knew the song inside and out. So it sounded great when we cut it. So once we talked him into it, it was a hit from then on.
Right. And it became a #1 pop hit, not a country hit. It was a pop hit. But oh my gosh, all the country, a dozen countries?
At least, yeah.
Yeah.
It was like close to 20.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, you guys are really huge over in Europe from what I've been reading. I mean, through all the articles and all the stuff you've done.
We're supposed to be there now.
Yeah, we're supposed to be there right now.
I know.
Little detour.
So after Let Your Love, it was a big success for you, but your next song was really what pushed you over the edge. And I want to know how that came about. I heard it was from a napkin.
Beautiful Body?
Yeah.
Was actually I wrote it on a napkin.
Right.
But it was.
I read it was from a quote. Was it from a quote?
From Groucho Marx. But I'm told, a lot of people have told me since then, because I heard Groucho say it on his old TV show.
Okay.
Where I originally heard it.
Right.
But a lot of people later on said that during vaudeville, that line was used a lot.
Okay.
It was a normal hook line they would use in a comedy skit or whatever.
Right. And that became your first country hit.
Yeah. Well, we had a country hit earlier, but not nearly as big. We had a song called "Lovin' On" that was a chart hit, and "Slippin' Away."
Yeah.
Both of them went into maybe 20s or 30s.
Okay.
But then "Beautiful Body," of course, was
your first #1 country hit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, oh my gosh, the UK and Northern Ireland, it went on to become Record of the Year in the UK.
Yeah. It became Record of the Year in the UK, and it was covered all over most all English-speaking countries. It became an enormous hit.
That's wonderful, man. And then, of course, Country Weekly, they named that the best pickup line ever. #1 pickup line.
Never worked for me.
It worked for you?
Oh, it never did work for me.
Oh, it never did. Are you married now, Howard?
No, I'm not.
No. Have you ever been married?
Let's not get into this.
Okay, all right. We're moving on. So after the success of that, you had a string of hits which included Redneck Girl, Old Hippie, and Kids of the Baby Boom, right?
Right. Uh-huh.
Okay. Now, were you still living in LA? Did you guys stay in LA?
No, we came back in about 78 or beginning of 79. We came back to the ranch.
Okay.
We kind of butted heads with the record company after Let Your Love Flow because there was a lot of disagreements, and we came back home and decided to just kind of go grassroots.
Right.
We came here, put a band together on our own and started touring, and then went back and cut Beautiful Body. Went back to LA after we'd moved home and cut Beautiful Body, and then it came out and sort of became big again. So we smoothed over most of what was going on with the record label because of the big hit. Everybody was happy. So but it put us on the road pretty much all over the world working. I mean, we'd work 200 shows a year that time.
Right. Well, you were top country duo, and you for both the Academy of Country Music and the Country Music Association, but also you were nominated for Grammys. Do you have Grammys?
No, we were nominated a few times, but never. We always get nominated, never win anything. So.
Well, did
we're
you
like,
win? Well, you had Top Country Duo, so you have an award for that, right?
That's true.
Is that the only one?
And they usually give us those crazy international awards because there's nobody crazy enough to go to all these places except us. So we've played.
Oh my gosh! But those places are wonderful. Don't you love Europe? I love Europe.
Yeah, and we played India and Sri Lanka and.
Oh my gosh!
And
I've never been to those places. I'd love to go over there.
We're the first country band to ever play to give a concert in Dubai.
Wow! How is that? Is it beautiful as they say?
It's a big old mall.
It's a big old mall.
It's like Vegas on steroids.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's not like that right now. That's for sure. Oh my gosh. Or Vegas, if they survive this, it'll be, well, any of the industry right now.
Yeah. We were in Vegas the day it shut down.
Oh, you were? Where were you playing?
We had just played the MGM Grand with Blake Shelton.
Oh, wow.
And we just got through it, and we were going to stay over because we were shooting some of our TV show there. So we stayed over a day, and it went from being completely packed to being a ghost town in like one day.
Well, yeah, my best friend actually, and she's my manager. We've been together for 30-something years. She books all the entertainment down on Fremont Street.
Oh yeah.
And they had Billy Ray booked and Rick Springfield booked in August, and now it's like, it's probably not happening. It's really sad. But anyway, so after all that, you did a bunch of collaborations, like with the Forrester Sisters. I remember them back in the day. They don't do anything anymore, do they?
Not too much, I don't think. I'm not sure they play any shows. We hear out of them time to time. We had Too Much Is Not Enough with them, which was a big record for us.
Right. And then also what, Drive South?
Yeah, Drive South. Yeah.
And then you did collaborations with Freddie Fender, Nicolette Larson, she did the tour with Dad and Jim Stafford, I think.
Yeah, that's when I met her way back in those days, originally. And then we knew Emery Gordy very well, who's Patty Loveless's husband.
Oh, okay, all right.
Nicolette and him were very close friends.
Yeah, he used to play bass for back in those days, he played for Elvis and for John Denver, I think it was.
Oh my goodness.
And
and then also Buck Owens. I mean, you can't forget about him.
Oh, Buck. Yeah, we love old Buck.
We just mentioned Buck. We just wrote some new songs here recently, and one is about the past artists, and of course Buck's name is in it. And we did it with John Anderson, which will be
Is Dad's in it?
What?
Is Dad's name in it?
No, it's not. I'm sorry. I should have put Glenn in. Actually, most of the artists in the song are older than Glenn.
Yeah, they're
real
old.
We started back like with Patsy Cline and
Buck and Dad. How old is Buck? Buck and Dad were about the same, weren't they?
They were close to the same age, I guess they were. Yeah.
I know it'll be 3 years next month. Hard to believe, but
we did a duet with Buck called The X-Files.
Right. Don't put me in the X-Files.
Yeah. They actually had a video of an alien spaceship taking him away. It was.
Now, was all this on Curb Records?
No. The early stuff was on Curb Records.
Okay.
And then we went independent in '92. We started our own. We've actually had our own label since 1992.
Right, Bellamy Brothers Records.
Right.
And so you still have that now?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
And so all of our stuff since then has been, we've licensed stuff literally all over the world on our own label. So it's been pretty much a blessing and not having a label.
I know, but then you went Blue Hat Records. What's that? Because you went back to Blue Hat and did a song.
Well, that was
the Planet album, right?
Yeah, that was a project we did with Charlie Daniels' manager, David Corley.
Okay. Oh, I love him. I love David.
He's great. And we did one project with them that we were working on at the time, which was the Lonely Planet one.
And then you went back to Curb.
We did a gospel album.
Once you're in, you're always in.
Well, I know, but you got your own record label now. So why are you going back to all these others?
Oh,
we
well,
did it
it's
to,
a long story. I don't think you have enough time to
We-
go through. But it's that simple.
we did it to settle a lawsuit, actually.
So is that why it was Angels and Outlaws?
We can't talk about.
Yeah. Yeah, it was their concept of doing the Angels and Outlaws, but Angels and Outlaws was a fun project. It was a lot of fun.
Of course, yeah. You had Dolly, George Jones, Tanya, Alan Jackson. Is that who all did that? Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. It was
And
fun.
Montgomery Gentry, sad
Yeah.
about Troy, but yeah. Wow. Now, gosh, so Blake Shelton has covered your songs.
Uh-huh.
Which one was it? Redneck Girl, that's what it was.
Yeah, do Redneck Girl all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, for the Dukes of Hazzard. You
Yeah.
did it for yeah.
We actually sang on that track with him.
Oh, how neat. I bet that was fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I remember meeting Blake. Dad and I were doing a show up in Canada, and Blake was on the roster with us. And I remember he had what's the haircut? I can't remember. It's escaped, like Billy, the
mullet. Yeah.
Yeah, the mullet. Yeah. I remember that. So
that's what we always tell Blake. He said, I've known you since you had a mullet. That's what it is.
Funny. That's funny. So now you did a gospel album, Jesus is Coming, and you received 2 Dove nominations. Do you have the Dove Awards?
No, of course not. We always get nominated but never win them.
What are these people thinking? Oh my gosh. And then
we actually did 2 gospel albums.
You did 2, right?
Yeah, we did Jesus is Coming, and we did Pray for Me was the other one.
And then your sister was on that one.
Our sister sang with us. She sang Come Home at Supper Time.
Right.
She sang that with us on there. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Now, does she sing for a living, or she just
No.
No,
she's kind of just retired now, and she lives here on the ranch with us, of course. But when we need her to sing, we go dig her up, and she comes to sing. Comes to sing with us. She still sings at church and everything.
Oh, she probably loves that.
Go
ahead, Howard.
We do all of our recording on our ranch here. It's right out the door of the studio is. So in this downtime, we don't have to go anywhere. That's the good.
Right. I mean, guy, you could be making a ton of albums right now.
So
we are actually.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. So your Let Your Love Flow has been on many commercials.
Mm-hmm.
Barclays card. Did somebody made a cover of it? What for a hybrid? What was it? A car commercial? Was it Prius?
Yeah, it was Prius, I think, or Toyota.
Oh, it was Petra. Somebody. Yeah.
Petra Hayden.
Okay. Now
Yeah.
is she? I don't know. I'm not familiar with her.
She is sort of a jazz vocalist in a way. I've heard some of her stuff. She's quite incredible singer, but more of like a jazz stylist. I don't know what kind she goes into, but yeah, Let Your Love Flow's been in everything from a Jennifer Aniston movie to The Sopranos. I mean, it's actually been in a brand new. What's the name of that new thing, Chris? That I was telling y'all is brand new. Dirty John.
Who's in that? That sounds familiar. Is that like David Spade or something? That sounds like something he would be in, but I can't think of.
Can't remember. I know my wife told me, and she looked it up, and we watched just the segment Let Your Love Flow was in. So I don't know much about the series, but it's been in stuff forever.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. But yet no award for it.
No, well.
Different kinds of awards.
Hey, if we did this for awards, Debbie,
I know it. You're just doing it because you love it.
Well, and we've done pretty damn good at it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh, I'd love it. And then you released Guilty of Crime, which was with that Kevin Bacon, the Bacon Brothers.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I bet that was fun.
Oh yeah, that was a lot of fun. Him and Michael are really 2 great guys, and they genuinely love music and performing. And we ran into them at the Sturgis Bike Rally.
Right.
We were playing it with them up there, and got to know them a little bit. Just talking to them that night, and when we had this idea, we got back a hold of them and said, "Hey, you guys ever consider doing a duet?" And they were like. And then once we did it, we said, "Hey, we need to do a video." So we went to a Memphis jail and shot a video.
Oh my gosh!
with them, and so that whole adventure was pretty fun.
Is that the video that Shannon Doherty was in?
It is.
Right. And then didn't they sing with you at the Grand Ole Opry? You did that?
Yes.
Yeah,
I bet that was standing room ovation right there.
Oh, he was so thrilled to play the Opry.
Yeah, he wanted to meet little Jimmy. So we had a photo taken together with him.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I did the Opry once with Dad, and I got to meet little Jimmy. Yeah, that was really cool. So this is not the 6 degrees of separation to Kevin Bacon. Just make sure he knows that. This is the 6 degrees separation of Glen Campbell. So
Yeah,
tell him now he can be added into that.
Right.
So now you guys have done a lot of stuff internationally. You did greatest hits sessions over there with the Swiss rock star, which I guess was critically acclaimed, right?
Yeah, and it became an enormous album, just a year earlier they had called about doing that project, and that was right after our mother passed away, and we were like, well, I don't know, I only knew one of his songs really very well, and but we got it and listened to it and stuff, said, okay, we'll give it a shot. So we recorded some stuff here, and he recorded some stuff there before we even met each other. And then he flew over and to finish some of the vocals and stuff here at the ranch, and we sort of instantly became friends. And he's just a great guy. He's sort of a Swiss redneck.
And he lives in Switzerland still today?
Oh yeah. He lives. I mean, he's a real Swiss mountain guy.
Right.
And one of the biggest singing stars in Europe.
Wow.
And so we became buddies with him and cut that album, and it went double platinum.
I know it. So that's what, 2 million? Is that 2 million?
Yeah.
I'm not real familiar. You think I would be, David, but I'm really not familiar with all the.
We actually ended up doing 3 projects together, because we did a live album that did really well, and we did one more album of all original new songs that he wanted to do. And all of them have been very successful, and we still keep in touch, and we see him in Europe. So it was a really great project to get going there.
That's neat. And then you also did one with Austrian singer.
Yes,
We did.
we did
Frozen Fritz.
We call him Frozen Fritz.
Is that Mermaid Cowgirl? Was that it?
No,
that was with the Swiss guy.
Gola. That's our Swiss buddy.
Right.
But we did another one in Berlin. We recorded a song with an album with his name is DJ Utzi, who he also has there's a music format in Europe that they call Schlager.
Okay.
And
Like a drink, doesn't it?
it's kind of what
Yeah.
we would categorize it kind of like a pop country.
Right.
That's what we call it to our ears, but they call it Schlager. So he was a big Schlager star, and we did a couple of things with him, and that album was actually also very good. But the Swiss project was really huge.
Yeah. Well, the one in Germany went number 3, and was that his first English? I mean,
It was, yeah.
did he do really good English-wise? I mean, no.
No, but I mean, it was a good project. It turned out well, but we were just kind of attached to our friend Gola over in Switzerland, because he's full of soul. He's got a lot of soul.
That's awesome. So Howard, tell me about jalapenos.
Yeah. Well, you seen the video?
No, I haven't.
Well,
But I'll watch it after this interview. How's that? But no. So I guess it bombed before it was ever released, right?
It was.
well, it depends on which audience you're talking about.
Well, the YouTube audience, it didn't bomb because it had over 3 million hits. Yeah.
that was our plan all along. Obviously, radio's not going to play
Right.
a song, even though. How loose is this show, Debbie?
This show could be as long as you want it to be.
No, not long. Loose.
It's your interview. No, what? What'd you say? Oh, whose show is this? It's your show.
Yeah. Well, we well, I have heard
Well,
asked.
but it is going to be shown on YouTube, so I guess it's fine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little, off center.
Yeah.
And we used have actually used YouTube as a tool because, nobody these days will play the older group's records, or
Right.
No matter who you are.
Right.
But we just, we saw that as a way to get stuff out, current stuff, because we still do write and a lot of recording. So we've used it as a tool, but we intentionally did some kind of off the wall songs that grab attention, because otherwise there's so much going on these days. I mean, you get lost in the world of
Exactly.
social media. But if it's just crazy enough, a lot of people will see it. So.
And right now is a prime time for to be doing crazy stuff because everybody's sitting at home watching,
And that's
everything,
exactly
right?
crazy stuff.
Yeah. We have a pandemic song that's going to be out next week.
Oh, good. What are you going to put it out on?
Just the social media. Well, we have an EP that we're releasing digitally. It's going to be Spotify and iTunes and Amazon, all that stuff. It'll be out about the 20th of July. But we have a single that's just kind of a social media single called Rednecks Looking for Paychecks.
I bet that's going to be great.
It's a little
sad but true.
It's a little pandemic.
It is sad but true. Exactly. Wow. So now you wrote a book, Let Your Love Flow: The Life and Times of the Bellamy Brothers.
Right.
That was what, just 2 years ago you wrote it?
Yes. Yeah. We had sat around and told so many old stories, and usually people would just say, "Hey, you should write a book." So finally we did.
Right.
Tried to put everything we could into there.
And about that same time, you got the reality show.
We started the show and the book, and then the Blake Shelton tour kind of all came sort of at one time.
Right.
Because that kind of came out of the blue. We weren't really expecting that.
So you weren't doing just one gig with Blake in Vegas. Were you on tour?
Yeah, we did. We've done the last 2 years.
Oh,
with
wow.
the Friends and Heroes tour.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
and with
cool.
us and John Anderson and Trace Atkins and Blake and Lauren Elena.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
It's been a really huge tour for the past 2 seasons, but we got cut short on this season, of course.
Absolutely, yeah.
The last 4 shows. So
I bet that was going really great too. Were you packing them out?
Oh God, it was. He sold out the LA Forum.
We went from playing 20,000 seaters to coming home and planting a garden, hoping we were going to survive.
Well, hopefully the garden grows, right?
Well, it did.
Yeah.
It's already producing.
Yeah, we've been eating out of the garden.
Head high.
Yeah.
What do you got growing out there? Tomatoes and
okra and peas and squash and
corn. Yeah, we got zucchinis and cucumbers.
Right.
These.
Yeah.
I bet your garden grows a lot better there than it would here in Arizona.
Well, yeah, Florida's pretty easy to grow things.
Because of the moisture?
Yeah, it's just hot and humid right now, so.
I love Florida. It's just you have to wear a jacket. You have to bring a jacket everywhere you go because you freeze to death if you go inside anywhere.
That's the truth, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I freeze to death when I go inside there. But I love Florida. I mean.
Yeah, they keep the air conditioner jacked up in the summertime.
Florida. Yeah, exactly. Everywhere. Yeah. So now, are you still doing the TV series?
Yeah, we're actually we're just actually on the end of our 3rd season filming in about 2 weeks.
Okay.
So that'll be the 3rd season, and the
barn and Howard's horse. You can see right here.
What the heck's going on out there?
We're giving a little tour. Well, yeah, that's fine. You can just keep taking your bath. We're just
Hey. Hey gang, welcome to Derby.
We're doing a little agri tour here.
I see that.
We've been showing the ranch and
hi folks.
They can get a first-hand view of Mr. Bellamy.
Well, this much you're gonna see right here. Well,
at least this be clean.
Yeah, good clean fun. Well, welcome to Derby.
Come back when I'm not in the tub. Didn't mean to impose on you. Didn't know you was in the tub. Well, just me and Raven.
The Circle Network, the Opryland's Circle Network, you know, is going to be ramping up, you know, to do. I mean, they're already ramped up, but they're going to be expanding in a lot of households pretty soon.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, because you were doing it on the Cowboy Channel. Right, in the RFD, yeah, and then you switched over to Circle what, this year?
This year, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, at the beginning of January, yeah.
So you're not done with season 3, but there are episodes.
No, the episodes haven't started yet. They're starting now on season 2. They're starting to show season 2. They just finished 1.
Right.
They're going to season 2 now, and then the 3rd season will come after that. And
okay.
we'll be wrapping up the shooting here in about 2 weeks.
Right. Was Tanya on season 2?
She was the end of season 1.
Oh wow! Okay.
The last two episodes of season 1 was Tanya and Mickey Gilly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just love him. I just interviewed Mickey 2 weeks ago, I guess. Yeah, he's so funny.
He's great,
isn't he?
Yeah.
He is awesome. Yeah. So you have a 200-acre ranch. That's a lot of. You got help out there?
You look at it.
Well, when you're on the road, who does all the, the cattle and everything?
I haven't been on the road in 4 months.
I know, but before that.
You know, we averaged, for 45 years, we averaged about 130, 40 shows a year.
Right.
And all of a sudden, to just stop dead still, it's a real shocker. I mean, you talk about, doing a turnaround just to try to get in this mode. And now I'm in ranch mode. I don't know if I have to relearn the road now.
Well, God, you raise Brahman cattle, and then you also have quarter horses.
Yeah.
How many horses you got?
Well, horses are kind of money pits, so I only have a riding horse is what I have.
Right. Do you eat the cattle?
Well, not unless I'm hungry.
We raise mainly
we're not vegetarians, no.
We mainly raise a breeding Brahma, breeding to sell to people for breeding.
Okay.
And we have a big calf crop this year, really big. I guess it was good we were home because Howard was delivering calves for a month.
Oh.
This season.
So how many people do you employ on the ranch? Because I know you have 3 generations living there, right?
We do.
We got one standing here with a fan right now because our air conditioner broke. So see, you got to have everybody's job description is very broad around here.
Right. So he's the fan holder.
Or at the moment, yeah.
Yeah, but he might be setting fence posts this afternoon.
Exactly.
So.
Well, of course, oh my gosh, but not least, so you have your old Hippie Stash.
Right.
So you teamed up with a company there in Florida?
Yeah, they passed the medical marijuana bill here a couple 3 years back.
Mm-hmm.
And we had the idea, a friend of ours knew some of the people with that company, Truly, and it turned out really great company. So we had this idea for the old Hippie Stash for a while. So we went up to their grow houses and stuff and worked with them and developed a kind of a strain. And at the moment, we're going to try to grow the whole thing, of course. But at the moment, it's 3 products. It's the Reggae Cowboy, which is a sativa flower, and then we have one that's called Big Love. They're all named after songs of ours.
Right.
And the Big Love is a combo sativa and indica, and then we have the Afterglow, which was a straight indica.
From those titles, Debbie, which one do you think you would like to try?
Say them again. Give me the titles again.
Reggae Cowboy, Afterglow, and Big Love.
Big Love?
Yeah, Big Love's a good choice.
No, she did. She was.
But I like Afterglow.
Yeah. It's been a long time for Afterglow for me. My age.
Although Reggae Cowboy, I mean, I don't know. Hell, I would want to try them all, though.
Try them all. That's the best way. Then you know
But
what
I
you
don't
like.
think my job would allow that. You know, I'm a flight attendant,
Ah,
Well,
and I have been for 34 years. Even
Cool.
even on the road with Dad for 25 of those years.
and you're with which airline?
I'm with American now.
right.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I haven't been working since April because all of our planes, you know.
Oh, sure. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, the flight industry got big, just got walloped. Yeah.
Yeah, but thankful I still have a job because I've been there 34 years. So I won't have to worry, hopefully, about being laid off. But I have to go back to work on Sunday, and I'm not, you know, I mean, I've got to do it. So
Yeah, everything's kind of scary. Just the unknown.
I have a couple of flights this month to Japan,
Oh, wow.
but there's only 13 people on the plane out of 283. So
Oh,
there'll be
my.
plenty of social distancing.
Oh, my gosh.
But you know what, Howard and David, I was doing China in February and March, and our flights were packed. I mean, they were wall-to-wall people. Of course, everybody had masks on. And so I think if February and March I could be on an airplane with 200 and something people, wall-to-wall with that going on at the big height of China anyway.
Right.
You know, so I got to hope that maybe I'm going to be okay, you know, not.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, good luck with that. Yeah. Yeah, we moved all of our overseas stuff until end of next spring.
Right.
So, you know, it'll be a while for that, but we're you know, our dates are going to start back about the middle of July here.
We think.
We
I
think.
hope so. I know, because right now, from just today looking at the news, it's like they're starting to close down New York again, and you know, so it's just, I know they did that in California today. They shut down all the bars inside and everything. So I don't know. I know, I hate it for everybody in the world. It's just really difficult.
Yeah, it's
I
awful.
can't remember what year were we in Branson together, because you played with Dad and I at the Palace.
Yeah. Oh God.
Oh,
That must have been the early 90s.
yeah.
It's about right.
Yeah.
It was the early 90s.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. That
Was that at the
Palace.
Palace?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Palace, yeah.
Yeah. Because it was either Dad or Louise Mandrell. So, you know, so we never played with her. It was always with somebody else. And I remember we all were there.
Right.
Yeah. Well, guys, thank you for coming on today. It's been such a pleasure, and hope to get back to work. Hope y'all get back to work. And
Yeah, thank you, Debbie. Good luck to you,
All
hon.
right. And where's Darby at?
It's just straight north of Tampa.
Okay. Well, if I ever get out that way,
Yeah, it's in the boonies. You like
well,
the boonies?
that's all right. I can deal with the boonies. All right, you guys have a great day, and you better get out there and do some ranch work.
All right. Thanks, Debbie.
Good talking to you.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed the show today. Great guys, the Bellamy brothers. Come back next week for another episode of the Debby Campbell Goodtime Show. Be safe, be kind, and wear a mask.
Redneck girl likes to cruise in daddy's pickup truck. Any redneck girl plays her hard when she's down on her luck. Living for Friday afternoon. She's gonna show one old boy